We're live.
I'm going to eat the rest of this cold burrito that I just mashed in my mouth.
There you go.
Delicious.
During the filter in.
It's pretty cold here in the Northeast this week. I think it's going back to normal tomorrow, like 70 or something. Jeez. Been cold this week. Wore a nice little sweater today that I got at Banana Republic.
Heat is still off in my apartment.
So I got a text from... This is like a constant, not battle. The battle would be overstating it, but like back and forth with my wife and I. I like when the heat is not on because it doesn't cost me any. Oh, we were talking about this. Doesn't cost me. Yeah. She sent me a text message the other day as she was leaving for work. She got a job up here now, and she was leaving for work, and she was like, "Hey, I just wanted you to know I put the heat on, so it took some of the chill off the house." As she was leaving for the dog. What are you doing? He's
Bold
covered
move.
in fucking fur. He lived on the street. Yeah. So
Bold move.
she broke that seal the first week of October. You can't do heat the first week of October. You can't do air conditioning in April. No.
Burrito looks good, Mike.
You get it from somewhere? Make it at home?
I have no idea where it's from.
Oh.
Alyssa just left in the fridge a couple days ago. I got home from work. I watched half the Sixers game. I haven't eaten in hours, so I'm just mashing it in before
There
the
you
pot,
go.
baby. And now we
Mash
got a
it.
filter in period. It's a perfect time to eat this.
Yeah. I'll take
Half
a
a
long
burrito.
time in the intro part if you want me to. I can do that.
Chili in the chat asked if I have a tent recommendation. Spike, you got a tent recommendation?
No, I'm not a tent guy.
I'm looking. I think I just have like a regular REI branded 2-person tent, and they're pretty good. REI brand stuff is generally pretty good if you have an REI near you.
Yeah, and you get that membership. You get like 10% off or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, and you get like every year you get like a percentage back just into your account. Like they're so nice there. Everyone that works there is
Super helpful, even if you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, so lovely.
Yep. All right, let's go. REI Collective, shout out. Didn't pay. We just like them. Just like them. The Rights Ricky Sanchez podcast. That isn't to say that we don't like our regular sponsors. We don't have an outdoors place, right? No competitor. Shout out REI. The Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast is presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Sign up for DraftKings Sportsbook by using promo code RTRS, and brought to you by MortgageCS. Become a MortgageCS Ricky VIP at mortgagecs.com/Ricky. Briggs Auction, the official auction of the process, at briggsauction.com/Ricky. Big Barker dog beds. Get yours at bigbarker.com/Ricky. And Stateside Urban Craft Vodka, the official sponsor of the Corner 3 newsletter with Zoe, statesidevodka.com. You know, we said on the last pod we were out of August and out of September and into October, but this is the first Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast of the season that includes having watched actual Sixers basketball. We'll talk about the game against the Cavs, the game against the Nets, where the Sixers finally faced Ben Simmons in a game. Zach Lowe says the name on another podcast in an effort to stay unbanned. John Hollinger picks the Sixers to win the title, and we finally see Tommy from JJ Redick's podcast shoot a basketball, and it was something special. Are you done the burrito? You're done the burrito, so I don't have to. Okay, all right, great. Hey, we're $2,500 away from our goal to raise $16,000 for Bark in the Park for Providence Animal Center. We have 2 weeks left, or 2.5 weeks. You can go to rightsrickysanchez.com and donate to us. Thank you to all of our sponsors who have sponsored the team, and thanks to Providence Animal Center for saving all of those animals. I mentioned Stateside Urban Craft Vodka. Here it is right here. I always do the night pods with a little bit of Stateside and the Stateside Rocks glass. If the regular vodka isn't your speed, of course, there is the Surfside tea and vodka right here. Just the perfect amount of sweetness, just 100 calories. Ooh, and no carbonation. Why is that? Oh, because there's no carbonation in iced tea. Love Stateside. Shout out Stateside. You got to be 21 to drink it. StatesideVodka.com. Without any further ado, Amos and the chef.
y'all. We were right. Even when it went wrong, we were right. We was right, y'all. We were right. So say the name. Say the name. We were right, y'all. We were right. Even when it went wrong, we were right. We were right, y'all. We were right. So say the name. 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 I say the name. I say the name. Say the name.
Life's tricky Sanchez forever.
Welcome to the Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast. I'm Spike Eskin, along with a guy that doesn't know where that burrito came from. That is one, Mike Levin.
Hello. Sixers
Hey.
basketball.
Here we are. Sixers basketball. Catch the fever.
Catch the ball.
Catch the ball. Catch
It's
the
coming
ball.
at your head.
Yeah. That's the newest Sixer slogan. It's on the season ticket package. Watch out, Scott O'Neal. It's going out next week. They might make a trade. By the way, that trade has never happened. The consolidation trade. Still no consolidation trade. I guess we still have time.
Still
We
good?
still have time. Still have time. All right. Let's get right into it. I would be remiss if we talked about anything before we talked about, I feel like we've done this a million times, but it feels like it's necessary. Tyrese Maxey. Some point last year during the home stretch of the regular season or the playoffs where I was like, you know what? I'm wrong. Boy, not that I didn't think he would be good. I always liked him, but he's way better than I thought he would. I never thought he'd be this good this year, being last year. And then coming into this year, there's something we even talked about with Zach Lowe when he was on, is we were like, well, you don't expect a giant leap again. How much better can he get at X or Y? And I know it's just 2 preseason games. I don't want to sound like some blog boy podcast. I know it's just 2 preseason games, but he's fucking better again. And he's obviously better again. I know it's just 2 preseason games, but these were 2 well-played preseason games, I think I would say. Normally, preseason games seem pretty pathetic. These did not. The thing that is most noticeable to me is even when the shot was going in last year, he still looked like he was like heaving it, right? His shot is not only does it go in every time, but he's so quick with it. He doesn't even think about it. And whether it's off the dribble or off the catch or whatever, it's just like he's better again, And it seems like from when he's taking the ball to the rim, he knows what he's doing in a more direct and like planned way. He looks like more in control. He's thrown a couple of nice passes that I don't think he would have thrown last year. I don't know, man. He's better. He's fucking better. Right? Am I crazy? He's better.
Oh, he's absolutely better.
Okay. He's stronger.
He's incredible.
Yeah.
He's a ridiculous. I mean, ready to declare that like he's just going to become Damian Lillard. They're obviously not the same player, but just like he has improved so much all the time. It's now to the point that he might shoot 85% from the field this year.
We're just not used to this.
He's become so good. The shot is not only to like, he can hit wide open shots, but he can get it off so quick. He doesn't have to like, he can get it off out of rhythm. There was one that was like a pass, like a hit ahead pass where he just caught it with, like from behind. That's a tough angle to like get your feet set as you're catching it from behind and then like locate where the basket is as you're going up with it. And he made it look so smooth and fluid. His finishing package is ridiculous. He can hit from anywhere, either hand, English, through traffic, around guys. He doesn't have, coming into his career, he just really had the floater. And it was like a lot of floater. And the floater kicked ass. Love the floater. But he now is not just limited to it. He can get to any spot on the court. I think he's the Sixers' best offensive player. I think he's the guy I want with the ball in his hands.
Yeah.
I think he's the guy I want with the ball in his hands late in games when they need a bucket. And that's is kind of just not because of anything negative about Embiid, I guess like maybe a little bit, but just the way that basketball is refereed these days. Like, you can't just dump it into Embiid and expect he's going to get either a call or an easy look. Maxey's just going to get a good look every time. And he can get to the rim, and his continuing still has a long way to go to improve as a passer. I think the fact that he's playing with Harden, this was like my hope when they got Harden, was that it would take some of the playmaking load off of Maxey, and he could just sort of that becomes like the last part of his game to really develop to the heights of the other parts of it. He's incredible. It's unbelievable. I love watching him. He's a joy. He's never missing a corner three again. There was a play in the Brooklyn game where like he went up and like lost the ball in midair and just caught it again as he was going up and finished with English going the opposite way. And it was just like, that's an impossible play. And he makes it look so smooth and so easy. We've never had anything like this. Never.
A player getting better at shooting each year.
A player getting better at everything. Yeah. And shooting is the most obvious thing.
Yeah.
Very, very clearly. But you can tell like his handle is tighter. He is playing smarter. It's 2 preseason games for sure. But like there are like a couple passes he's making that like with his left that you haven't seen him make before. I'm really excited to see it. And we saw a bunch of Harden Embiid pick and roll. We see a bunch of Harden Embiid pick and roll. I think because Harden is not great from the mid-range, not a great mid-range like pull-up, not like a great like leaner, that kind of thing. He has that little like stiff floater that goes in. And he's obviously elite at drawing fouls, and he can still get to the rim and use his physicality and stuff. But we've seen a lot of Maxey Harden Harden Embiid pick and roll. I want to keep seeing more Embiid Maxey pick and roll, because it seems like Maxey has the opportunity with his speed to get and ability to shoot from the mid-range to get the big off of Embiid and open that up for more lobs to get him, whether it's an alley-oop. Embiid not necessarily as comfortable as that, but like coming down with it and basically getting a wide open layup out of it. I would like to see that more of that. I think the Harden one is very good, and obviously it killed last season. We'll see if that continues, but Maxey's just incredible, and I'm happy when he has the ball in his hands. Good things happen when he has the ball in his hands. Harden doesn't need to be, I mean, it'd be nice if Harden was excellent, but he doesn't need to be like as good as he used to be if he's just limiting mistakes, passing guys open, and letting Maxey fucking be one of the best offensive guards in the league. He's unbelievable.
I thought it was meaningful too in the Nets game that he just came out popping, right?
And this one, both.
Yeah. Like not just the first 2 preseason games, and Harden wasn't in the other one, but this one too, with Harden there and Embiid there, and he's like, yeah, I'm just like, I'm gonna shoot these. I'm gonna do this. And if you mentioned,
he's like too good for summer league. We've covered that a lot, but like too good for preseason. Too good for like start playing against starters. Like immediately being like, take me out of here. I'm scoring 8 points in 3 minutes. Just take me out. He's unbelievable.
What do you have? 20 in the first half in the first game, 21 in the first half in the Cavs game.
Yeah. He's missed like 4 shots. Guy's insane.
There was the pass. He threw like a cross court pass to Harris in the corner tonight that just like, you said he wasn't a great passer last year. Not a bad passer, but like not particularly great vision or anything. But man, and the thing about the shot is, and you can see it in him physically, and they mentioned on the broadcast as well, he obviously is stronger this year than he was last year, obviously. And it's not like he was weak last year, but you see, and I don't want to make this negative, but you see like somebody like Thibault who isn't stronger at all and hasn't improved on his shot at all. And to see the comparison between these two guys, and Maxey is what, 19 years old, 20 years old? Is he 20?
20 or 21.
Yeah, just fuck, man. Fuck. We got a good one there, man. Got a good one. Just actually, here's my thought.
Yeah, he turns 22 in a month.
What's that?
Turns 22 in a month.
Oh, there you go. 21. Okay. My thought is we've seen enough. Just like rest him till the playoffs. I just don't want him to get hurt.
Could you imagine if he just how much bounce he would have if he just
Rested.
didn't play basketball for 6 months and he wasn't hurt? He just
Yeah, it's
was
like-
I'm going to be shot out of a cannon.
It's like a running
it
back
makes
that comes back in week 14, and you're like, wait a minute, that guy's playing a different speed than everybody
Yeah,
else.
fresh legs.
Yeah.
It's unreal. It's unreal. I don't know how to talk about a guy that's gotten this much better. He's also an absolute delight. Obviously I don't know.
It's
I don't
just
know. Doesn't feel real. This gets me pretty close to some living in a simulation stuff. If Maxey can get this good, this quick, I'm willing to listen.
maybe this is what reality is. Maybe all the other bullshit we were dealing with. Maybe we're
That's a
out
good
of
way
the
to look at it.
simulation now. Yeah.
I mean, even after he had that 3 in this game and then sort of vultured the inbounds pass, he ended up missing the layup because he went in a little wild on with Kevin Love covering. But that's just, he's a heady player. He's really, really, really good, and he should be the Sixers starting point guard for the next 10 years, and that kicks ass.
We'll get to the other players in a second.
Don't need
them. Don't need them. Bugs Bunny style. Do a Bugs Bunny style. MortgageCS is the official mortgage broker of the Ricky. We love MortgageCS. If you're going to go get a mortgage, if you're going to buy a home, you need a mortgage, or if you need to refinance, well, you're probably not going to refinance now, but if you're going to, if you're going to consolidate debt, if you're going to buy a home, MortgageCS is where you go. You want a mortgage broker who is independent, right? Who is not tied to any specific lender, whose only priority is you, is teaching you about mortgages, making sure that you understand all of it, is getting you the best rate, but not just getting you the best rate, you understanding what that means, what that process is. You go on the internet, right? You Google 30-year mortgage rate, and the first 4 things that come up, you go and you plug your information in there, your email address. They sell your email address to mortgage lenders. That's what they do. That's what these other places do. The bigger places, they take your information and they just send you out to lenders. You're going to get millions of phone calls for the next 6 months. That's not what MortgageCS is. They are local, they are small, and they are but sturdy and dedicated to you. Available at any time. MortgageCS, 267-391-7425. 267-391-7425. That is Ben Stucker, the CEO's cell phone number. He's going to be available for you at any time. When you're buying a house, you're going to need your mortgage broker available for you at any time. You might need a pre-qualification letter, 8 o'clock at night on a Thursday. MortgageCS is there. Saturday morning, MortgageCS is there. And every Ricky listener that's gone to MortgageCS is like, man, they were just so kind, and they were so helpful, and they were so, they educated me on what all of this is. That's what MortgageCS is there for. Even if you don't get the loan from them, that's what they're there for. Go to mortgagecs.com/Ricky. Mortgagecs.com/Ricky. You can schedule a little appointment there, or you can call or text Ben. You can do it right now. Do it right now, 267-391-7425. Mortgagecs.com/Ricky. This advertisement, not a commitment to lend or extend credit. MortgageCS is an equal housing opportunity mortgage broker. All loans are subject to credit approval. Certain restrictions may apply to mortgage or company NMLS 1464766. Visit mortgagecs.com/Ricky for more info. And thanks to MortgageCS for being a sponsor of the Bark in the Park team and Spike and Rebels Food Truck Festival at Bark in the Park. All right. Players other than Maxey. I think we go to Harden from here. I think that is the natural thing. It was just a preseason game, and he's 34, but he looked exactly the same as last year. So I guess this is all I would say. I don't want to overstate what it is. I didn't look at him and go, ooh, there's some pop I didn't see last year. He mostly looked the same to me. So I don't have much else to say other than he mostly looked the same to my eyes.
I think that's fair. I think hit a 3 off the catch, notable. Fake Dean Wade out of his shorts, fun. Yeah, he's about the same. I mean, I think the idea that he's the 11th best player in the NBA at this point is rather ridiculous. But I think he's still a very helpful player. I think the odds that he's people talking about him as like, well, maybe he's not the 5th or 10th best player in the league anymore, but maybe he could still be like a third team All NBA. And I kind of just don't see it anymore.
Yeah, no.
So I think he's still going to be helpful. He's not a negative. He's not a zero. It's just a matter of like the Sixers are good enough where they don't need him to do a bad impression of the guy he was 10 years ago. There's too many other good players on the team where we have to resort to that. And so for me, it's see the floor, find open guys, hit threes off the catch, exploit mismatches, run pick and roll with Joel, and keep it moving. And then like when you need to like do your step back, get into your bag and work that, like if nothing else is working, then like, okay, once in a while he'll probably win us a game once every 10 games or something based on something like that.
Thank God Maxey is taking the leap that he is.
100%.
We're gonna need it,
100%. Yeah, it was always like, we were crossing our fingers that, and again, it's a preseason game, and let's see if he works up to it. Let's see what the hamstring looks like. But like, yeah, he looks about the same thing. I think if it would have been nice if he had all of a sudden had a ton of burst back, but we'll see. We'll see if he works himself up to it. This is the first half of preseason basketball he's played.
For sure.
Maxey, yeah, the Maxey continuing to get better, being able to create for himself. Harden still gets a lot of respect. It's not like teams are going to start covering him with like, Patty Mills on an island. Like they're still going to like treat him like he's James Harden because he still can beat guys off the dribble and draw fouls and make shit happen. So like, even if he's not as good as he used to be, he is still like they have to account for him all the time, and they do. We'll see how long that lasts, how many years into the future it does, but like for now, he's still like people still cover him like he's James Harden, and I would just like to leverage that for open shots for other guys.
Yeah, I agree with you on the. Was it Zach that was talking about third team All NBA or something? There's just
I've seen a couple people say Zach's one of them.
Yeah, I'm not buying that one. Not buying that one.
But I do love Harden posting his picture of Quinta Brunson from Abbott Elementary posting a picture of her wearing the Harden beard on Abbott Elementary. That's great. He's in the he's a different kind of personality than Bryce Harper, but like it's Harden, it's Harper, it's Sirianni. They're all the way in. They're doing it.
I would say that Harper is a total phony, but Sirianni's like phoniness, like his trying to fit in is like what's the word I'm looking for? Like it makes me like him because it's so awkward and clumsy, and he's like, look at this Mike Quick bootleg jersey I bought off the internet. It's
sure,
like,
I mean anybody wearing a visor that often is going to look clumsy, but
yeah, I like that. That's charming.
Sure, I find it all endearing.
Really?
It's if you are an athlete playing for a team and you want the fans to cheer for you, you want them to like you. Obviously, everyone's going to play hard and play like, try to do their best so that they are. But like, why not? Why not try to appeal to them? That's just being nice. That's just being nice to your surroundings and the people that are like going to pay a bunch of money to like come see you or take a lot of their time of their life to fucking watch the shit. So it doesn't like, there's not a ton of effort involved in going like, why not wear like Philly Fanatic cleats? Why not like show love to the people that are showing me back? Like, I think it's just an easy thing, and it's a nice thing, and it's one of the better parts of sports, I would say, is at least like professional sports and the relationship to the fans.
Don't want to get stuck on it. I think there's a difference between pandering and assimilating, or like Bryce crosses the line for me. Like Bryce is.
I like watching people give a shit enough to pander.
I won't disagree with that. I won't disagree with that at all.
Like it's
Who
not like
else?
it's Russell Wilson where like you're just being like he's not pandering as like I'm just saying like nonstop cliches and like being just like deeply corny. I don't think it's corny in the sense of in the way that everyone seems to feel like Russell Wilson is. I think it's just like, hey man, I'm here. These people like me. I'm going to show them that I like them. And I'm going to show them by wearing a Mike Quick jersey or putting the Fanatic on my cleats or referencing Abbott Elementary or hugging Gritty or whatever the fuck. Why not?
The
Why hell
best
not?
part about the Mike Quick jersey is, now I could be proven wrong on this, but when you look at the Mike Quick jersey, there's no Eagles on the sleeves. And I looked back at all the old Mike Quick jersey and they all have Eagles on the sleeves. I think he bought a bootleg jersey.
Great. Maybe he got fooled by Instagram like I did.
All right, starters. Well, no, this I think is the next thing. I think Paul Reed had like a pretty average summer league, I think, but he's obviously, it seems as if he's the backup center and he's playing pretty under control and looks like he's better for Paul Reed. Like, I don't know. I've liked what I've seen out of Paul Reed, and I got to give Doc credit where it's due. If he's going to have Paul Reed as the backup center, I think that's good.
Who was the coach tonight?
Oh, you're fucking right. Oh, for Christ's sake, you're right. But he,
I hope you're right. I hope it's not just
oh no.
What's his name? Dave Yeager going rogue. Roger.
No, there were a couple articles this week about Paul Reed like running with like being the backup center.
Yeah.
So
he started in the Nets game when Embiid wasn't in.
Yeah.
And I was like, does that just mean that he likes Trez coming off the bench in that sense? But no, it seems like Paul Reed is ahead of them in the rotation. And Trez played well. This is the kind of game,
played well
these
both
kinds
times,
of regular
I thought.
season games when Joel's not playing, I'm happy to have a center rotation of B-Ball Paul and Montrezl Harrell. During the regular season, that is a thrilling, normal, nothing about Paul Reed is normal, but like that is a competent rotation. And when it counts, it's got to be Paul. Even though, like, look, he played more normal today, a little more controlled, but still a couple for sure, some insane things like airball to hook shot. Like, there's a couple like weirdness. Like, that's what you're going to get there. But finishes the game a +6, 4 steals in 18 minutes, 3 offensive rebounds. Like, B-ball fucking Paul, man. What's he out there to do? B-ball. That's what he's out there to do. And he's going to do it in his way.
All right. Next thing. D'Anthony Melton has looked good, I thought, both times. He looks exactly, and he is I was interested to see him because, we had mentioned on the last pod, his threes per 36 have gone up every year. But for my eyes, I wanted to see it willing and see it looking good because I felt like maybe that was something that we didn't know about. Like, maybe this is one of these guys that don't shoot. And I think I heard, what's KOC's partner, Grizzlies guy again? Vernon mentioned something about him not like shooting well, but not being a shooter. I think he had said at one point, but he looks pretty smooth and pretty willing to me. And defensively, he's a real good player. And, we had said on the last pod we haven't had a player like him, but we haven't, like a sort of do everything 3 guy. He's a good play 2-3 guy. He's a good player, man.
Yeah, I mean, I think odds of him playing much when one of, probably sometimes both, but usually one of Harden or Maxey is on the court. I think he'll probably have limited minutes when he's the point guard, and even then, like, he might be out there with Shake, and they'll split the duties. But like him as a complimentary ball handler, extremely, extremely competent. He's fast. He's quick with the ball. He's not doing anything crazy. He's just doing like simple, fast, athletic, competent, I can score from anywhere type stuff. Hit a 3 on a step back. I prefer him off the catch for sure. But just like really extremely good. Like this team went out and got guys who can do stuff on both sides of the floor and not get pushed around as easily as they did get last year. And Melton is a great example of that. Like, you're not going to exploit him. There's no area where D'Anthony Melton is a weakness. He might not be elite at a bunch of things, but like, he's not going to be out there looking helpless at any point. and around excellent players like Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, James Harden. Like, that's kind of all you need to be, is like be extremely competent and let the really good players do really good shit. And Melton is the perfect guy for this team. I'm so happy he's here. I've loved him for so many years. I'm so happy he's here, and he's exactly the player that I expected when they got him. And he's going to be huge. He's going to be really, really big for this team. And I think we'll see injuries wise, etc. But like 100% should be in some closing lineup sometimes. 100%.
Oh, yeah, I've said that a bunch of times. I definitely think he should be. And I don't, I think that no matter whether they trade Harris or not, I think if they do, like, he's a pretty natural guy to put in the starting lineup, depending on what that trade nets you. I think, especially considering Tucker. Now, we got our first look at Sixer PJ Tucker on tonight against the Cavs, and he immediately made 3 hustle plays in one fucking play that the Sixers have not made in the last 6 years of basketball. So.
Yeah, and 0 points on one shot. It's like that is he's been doing PJ Tucker stuff for a long time to expect anything different. And the one shot was a floater, weirdly. But like, he's just obviously a dog, one of the original dogs. And I think that loose ball stuff is infectious. Like, the Sixers shot 29% from 3. I know it's a preseason game, so you don't have to pour into the data too much. But they shot 29% from 3. They got 11 offensive rebounds. I bet there are fewer than 5 games. I'm just making it up, but I bet there are very few games last year that they got more than 11 offensive rebounds. And I think Daryl went out and got guys who play their asses off and can get loose balls. After the last year they couldn't get a single one, and I think that shit is infectious. I think you saw both Shake and Melton take little floaters and follow their shot and get their own rebound and put it back in, almost on back-to-back plays, which is weird. And it's like they're just guys who have a nose for the ball. And again, like, around really good players, you just want guys to like make some shit happen in their role. And PJ is an example of that. Melton is a big example of that. And we'll see who else fills out this rotation if they can provide enough shooting and defense and ball handling to stick. But this team's really good, man. It's going to be a really good team. And it'll ultimately come down. This is not a situation where in the previous years it was like, the role players are kind of letting us down. Or Daryl or whatever GM was here is kind of letting us down with whatever mediocre role players and depth was around these guys. Or Joel's hurt, not as good. Those kinds of things. There's a million examples of why it doesn't work. But this team, depth-wise, we'll see if there's a consolidation trade, when it happens. I'm going to take credit for it. It could happen in 4 years. I'll take credit for it. But we'll see what the problems are, but it's not going to be because the depth wasn't there. It's not going to be because like the role players didn't do their job, because there's too many of them that can. And so it's going to ultimately be up to Embiid, Harden, Maxey a little bit, but he's never going to do anything wrong, and Tobias.
I do. Shake Milton seems to. What's that?
And Doc, who didn't coach tonight.
Right.
Important to know.
Shake Milton looks exactly the same, I think. I like when it's the Shake Milton show in the second half and he does everything. He just, the signature move to me for Shake Milton is gets into the lane without a plan. And he has sort of like the same thing that Harden does when he throws the ball up and doesn't get fouled and he complains about it or whatever, but he's just like not James Harden. I love Shake. I always wanted the Shake thing to happen. I don't think the Shake thing's going to happen. Do you think?
But I think as a seventh or eighth man, I think he'll be a seventh or eighth man in the NBA for a number of years.
You think?
I do.
On a good team?
I think he already has been for a few.
Well, that's for sure.
And I think he's just like the bigger issue is Shake going to shoot? Is he going to be able to shoot threes off the catch? Because if he is, then he can play with Maxey. Then he can play with Harden. But there are few times where you're going to want like Shake pick and rolls, Shake driving, sort of like throwing a little shoulder in there, doing that like kind of Shake hang up, pull up while the defender kind of like falls backwards kind of thing. He's totally fine. He's just got to hit shots. He's got to be able to hit threes off the catch. And as we've talked about before, like sometimes that ball looks real heavy in his hands and it takes a little bit too long to come out. And after how quick Maxey's release has gotten, it'd be nice if Shake could look comfortable shooting threes in a tight window, because then he can play. Then he'll be able to play. But right now he's a little bit in like a backup guard, innings eater type of role.
Briggs Auction is the official auction of the process. Go to briggsauction.com/Ricky. briggsauction.com/Ricky. Briggs Auction is a Delco 4-generation family-owned and operated auction house with cool shit. Or download the Briggs Auction app. So every week through Christmas, they have big auctions. Like they're like estate auctions, but there's everything in there. Stuff from $1 to like, there was a Porsche 911 a couple of months ago. And what I do is it's divided into like categories. So I go right in for the art. I go right in for the collectibles. I go right in for the oftentimes the clothing. I like to see what's in there. They have furniture, by the way. You're never going to see anywhere else. Unique furniture that you don't have to wait 6 months to get delivered. The auction that's there right now that closes on Friday the 7th, there is one lot of 1985 Topps baseball cards. It's got the Mark McGwire rookie in there. I don't know if it's a full set, but I'm definitely going to bid on it. It says it doesn't know if it's a full set or not, but I'm definitely bidding on that. And in the art section this time, there is where is it? There's a what is it called? Wait, hold on. Framed portrait of a formal lab. So it's a dog in a formal outfit wearing like a military uniform, black lab. Fucking love it. I love Briggs Auction. It's fun to look at. There's new auctions every week, and like there's cool stuff. I'm telling you, it's worth checking out. And the furniture, like if you're looking for like a unique chair for a living room or a mirror for a bedroom or something, Briggs Auction is where to go. Go to briggsauction.com/Ricky, briggsauction.com/Ricky. You get a lot. You can either pick it up on Saturdays for open pickup. You can make an appointment during the week. They'll work with you on finding a shipper to ship it to you. And if you want to downsize, you have stuff you need to sell, send an email to info@briggsauction.com. That is info@briggsauction.com. Briggs Auction, also a sponsor of our Providence Animal Center Bark in the Park Run team. briggsauction.com/Ricky. Embiid, like, I don't take anything out of tonight. I don't think he looked good. I don't think he looked bad. He just sort of played. He was just sort of there. Right?
Yeah. I mean, I would like to see him and Harden, last podcast we talked about, like, can Harden get Embiid like 4 easy buckets a game? Simple, easy buckets. Would love to see that, where he doesn't have to like turn and land on his knee weird and like back into somebody and like do a ton of dribbling and all that stuff. Like, easy buckets, can we get it? Didn't really happen tonight, super, but he had a couple impressive finishes. This was the first time we watched him play in quite a while. And that old sensation of like, that's a weird way to fall, always comes back, never too far away from my mind. But I mean, he's just an impressive player. I'm happy he's alive. I'm happy he's here. I'm happy he's healthy. Let's get him a championship. And yeah, let's be more comfortable. I would like him to be more comfortable shooting threes quickly, safely, regularly, so he doesn't have to dribble into a more difficult shot and like tax his body. If you're open for 3-man, off the catch, shoot it. But he doesn't like it. He likes a little sidestep. He likes thinking about it. He likes the slowest pump fake of all time.
I hate a top of the key pump fake. I know it works. I just wish he'd shoot it every time. Like every single time, he's always open. Just fucking shoot it. Just shoot the three every time. Every time.
But I thought he played pretty well. And like first half, he didn't go to the line at all. I think there were some times where he was getting fouled and they didn't call it. But impressive finishes. Waiting to see like what is the thing that he got really better at this offseason, because I think he always kind of adds something to his game. And right now, I couldn't tell with just on the first watch of like, was there something else that I'm missing? But like for now, he's Joel Embiid, one of the best players in the league, Philadelphia 76er.
Furk's shot looks like it lost all of its arc. You notice that? Oh, I know. Wait a minute. You're a little. You didn't see all the game. Furk's shot definitely looks like it lost all of its arc. A little worried about Furk. Was very hopeful when I found out he had like the nerve damage in his hand last year.
It's so strange how that's positive.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Oh, you had just nerve diamonds in your hand. Oh, thank God.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anything else.
Didn't talk about Tobias Harris, predictably.
Well, tonight at least, he looked like the old Tobias Harris to me. I'm saying, like, he didn't look like quick trigger Tobias Harris to me tonight. That's me.
It's frustrating that the only things we can say about Tobias is like, is he acting enough like PJ Tucker? We got to find a way to talk about him in a different way. We got to find ways.
But he's not.
He's
not PJ Tucker. Like,
no,
he's
of course not. But he can
Yeah.
attack a mismatch better. There was a couple I forget who they had on him, but like he shot over a little guy. I'm happy to take that every time. Finished in transition, ran the lane, filled the lane. I thought his weak side defense was pretty nice. Couple hands, slapped. There's gonna be a free Jared Allen dunk that Tobias got his hand in there, mixed it up. He's a fine player, man. I don't know. I'm really interested to see what the next year or two of Tobias looks like, and what the trade market for Tobias would be like if they decided to do it. Because I think next year when he's an expiring contract, they will find more takers for him.
Yes.
But not for value, just to get him off the team. Just to like stack contracts, and it'll be like, hey, take our big contract for your smaller contracts, and here's a first round pick for your trouble. I just don't know that that's ever going to feel worth it to me.
I just don't want him to play. I'm going to be honest. I don't even want to talk about him anymore because I feel like I'm being a dick at this point. I don't even want him to play. I don't even want to see him playing.
He's probably going to play.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I don't think we're going to get to the Hollinger thing. John Hollinger picked him to win the title. I think we'll probably get to that Saturday just based on time. But his value.
I feel like John Hollinger was banned at one point.
I don't think so. Didn't he draft Ricky Sanchez?
Yep.
I think he did. Or he was part of the team that drafted Ricky Sanchez, I believe. So
something. Their paths definitely crossed.
Yeah. I don't know if there's anything else from the games. Oh, I mean, non-Sixers thing. I know you probably don't have much of a comment, but like, what was it? Did you think anything watching Ben? I mean, he played. He looked terrified. I mean, of going into the lane.
What percentage did you have at him never playing basketball again?
I think it got up to 15 or 20% or something like that.
I remember being like 25%. You were pretty up there. And it was hard I was disagreeing, but it was hard to be like confident about it.
Right.
Just being like, yes, he will. Like, I don't know.
Do you think this counts? If he doesn't play in a regular season game, I think you can give that
maybe we can revisit it if he never plays in a regular season game again. But I think it seems like it's on the way to counting that he's playing. And he looked more like the person that he was in 2019. Like that's all. You're not asking.
You think?
Yeah. He's not a different player, but it's just a matter of like he's been gone from the game for a full year and he looks exactly the same. And he's still not a good shooter, and he seems like a little bit more willing to do it, but he's not good at it. He's the same player.
He looked, it was just crazy. I was talking about it at work. Like, there's like 3 ways to watch Ben Simmons, right? There's like 3 different people. There's Sixers fans, there's like regular people, and then there's Nets fans. And the Sixers fans, like at least me, I'm watching it going, yep, won't go into the lane, just like passing it backwards, like not doing anything. Oh, there he goes, he's fading away again. Like, this guy can't do it. And then there's a regular person who's just like watching a basketball player, doesn't think anything of it. And then there's a Nets player going, wow, if this is his first game back, he's going to be a problem. And I'm like, oh boy,
he's going to be exactly who he's been.
Yeah.
He's a guy that has never, since he's come into the public consciousness, his abilities and his ability to affect the game has gone down. It hasn't improved. He hasn't improved on the offensive end, I would say, in really any way at all. Maybe he understands the game more. Maybe he has a better sense of pace or something. I'm sure like that comes with just like reps. But like he certainly hasn't acquired any new skills, and they've gone away.
Yeah.
His handle's not better. He's not attacking the rim. We talked about it many times. But
Yeah. But
Maxey's gotten so much better that it's like it actually makes me feel bad about myself that I've never gotten better at anything.
certainly
And
not
like
at that
I feel
level.
like Melton is like the right speed to me. Like he's still fundamentally the same player, but he has improved in different areas that have helped his game. Maxey, it's like I'm scared. I'm scared of how he makes me feel bad about myself.
Well, so we have another game on Friday, I think. Yeah. Oh, by the way, before we get to Zach Lowe, I thought this.
Last thing about the game.
Yeah.
I think it is notable that Matisse doesn't seem to be in the main rotation.
Oh no.
Right.
Yeah. I forgot to. Yeah.
And like
it looked amazing.
Daniel House is fine, and
Yeah.
George Niang is fine, and they're not like, you know, if they struggle, they'll and Matisse is still on the team, like they'll give him a shot. You know, same with Korkmaz. He'll fall out if somebody struggles. There's guys to replace them in the rotation. But it's interesting that like everyone's talking about how much better he's gotten and how hard he's working and how everything blah blah blah. And like I'm not gonna hang anything on like going 0 for 3 from 3 in one preseason game. That doesn't matter. But it's the more notable, the more telling thing is
he's not playing.
He's
not playing with the
massively in the rotation. Yeah. He might come in like spot areas for a specific kind of team that's like, okay, we're gonna put him for this one, whatever. Which I wouldn't mind mixing it in. But I think like the preseason, the training camp hype of like Matisse is this, Matisse we're gonna love it. It feels like Embiid and it feels like Daryl and Doc got Embiid together and everybody was like, hey, let's just like talk up Matisse so we can trade him, okay?
Everybody, even told Embiid.
Everybody, come on, Matisse, talk yourself up so we can trade you.
Before we get to Zach Lowe's recent podcast appearance, CJ, if you could bring up the video of that Maxey and Furk tweet that is in section 2. So the Sixers posted this. It was Maxey talking about Furkan Korkmaz and Furk's like them telling Furk what Maxey had said, and I just think it was a very I loved it. The thing with Furk is like we're all gonna have to eventually come to the realization that like we thought the Furk thing might happen, really wanted it to happen, probably not gonna happen, but he is so likable when he talks. He's always so innocent, and his hype videos are great. So here is the clip that the Sixers posted.
You know, he's Turkish bull.
Turkish bowl.
Turkish
What
bowl,
is
he
your
called me.
reaction to that?
He saw me after the game lifting, probably that's why he called me like Turkish bull. I don't know.
That's his nickname for you, or a new nickname, I guess.
I call him Maxey. I call him his last name, so straight up. He's tough, you know. He's
Turkish bull. I call him Maxey. That shit is great, man.
Great.
That shit
They're
is
both
great.
two of them. They're great. It's a very likable team. It's come together in an odd way, but they have turned themselves into a likable bunch. I'm sure over the course of the season I will feel differently. Mm-hmm. That is just the regular ups and downs of a basketball season, let alone a baseball season. By the way, go Phils. I was swearing them off forever about a week ago, and now I'm all the way in. Perfect to get almost no hit immediately after clinching the first playoff series in 11 years. Great. Really funny. But yeah, they are a likable team. They should be good at everything. We'll talk about Hollander next week, but they should be there. They should be there.
So Zach Lowe used to work for Grantland, now works for ESPN, was on the Ricky last week, and he went on the Bill Simmons podcast. And we were alerted by several different people that this happened. So here is the piece of audio in question. Every time, guys, it's literally every time that I try to use this, I fuck it up. Literally every time. All right.
It's all there and it's
For Christ's sake, I give up. I actually give up. Hold on. I'm sorry, guys. I feel like a total failure when I can't do this.
I feel like CJ loves it. Just sitting smugly by while you futz around on your phone.
Well, if CJ would do it, but CJ's not going to do it. So, all right. So here we go. Let's try this now.
It's all there. And it's funny you mentioned Doc, because someone asked me last week, what's more on another podcast, writes to Ricky Sanchez. I'm sure they make fun of both of us relentlessly.
Never heard of him.
What's more likely?
So first of all, credit to Zach for saying it. And he actually said it on the Lowe post as well when he had, who did he have on today? Or the last couple of days when they were doing over-unders. Arnovitz is not there anymore.
Pelton? I haven't listened.
Pelton. Yeah. So first of all, Zach thinks we make fun of him more than we actually do. I think that is one thing that has to be noted here. Now, people were saying, like, it's obvious in this that Simmons is smirking when he does this, correct?
Of course.
Okay. All right. I did like I was getting a lot of like he roasted you guys. This did not feel like a roasting to me. This felt like it felt like an acknowledgement. It felt like a specific acknowledgement in this. So thank you, Zach, for saying the name on the Bill Simmons podcast, and thank you, Bill.
It's all there, and it's funny
for hitting us like Don Draper. When he told that guy, I don't think about you at all.
It's all there. And it's funny you mentioned Doc, because someone asked me last week, what's more on another podcast, writes to Ricky Sanchez. I'm sure they make fun of both of us relentlessly.
Never heard of him.
Zach says, this is the
what's
first time I'm
more,
doing this. Zach says, I'm sure you've, and then changes it. And I wonder what he was going to say.
Well, he also says he knew when he was saying I was on another podcast, we popped into his fucking brain and we were like, Zach, you motherfucker, say the fucking name of the podcast. He knew he had to say it at that moment. He knew. He absolutely knew. One more time.
It's all there. And it's funny you mentioned Doc, because someone asked me last week, what's more on another podcast, writes to Ricky Sanchez. I'm sure they make fun of both of us relentlessly.
Never heard of him.
Long pause. Hides your smile, delivers the joke. Solid joke.
Yeah.
Guy who hasn't been funny in 12, 15 years.
You
Solid
are
joke.
far too rough on Simmons, I think. And this comes to someone who went after him for a while. Without Simmons, this podcast doesn't exist. It's like,
I don't feel that about myself, at least.
Well, but it's true. Like the medium itself. Like if it wasn't for like actually,
should we
Howard
thank Mark
Stern
Maron
and Bill Simmons. No, but like
people have been doing stuff. People did radio shows. It's just a radio show on the internet.
No, you're okay.
Same thing. We're just talking.
I know, but what I'm saying is,
if you want to count Bill Simmons as someone that you, I don't know, I don't want to say idolize or looked up to at some point or like whatever, but like he does not play a role in my life. Or never has.
Well, maybe not directly, but indirectly he has. He absolutely has. Sure. Like the culture, I'm not saying he's the only person to do it, but the culture, this entire like internet basketball culture was shaped in a lot of ways. He has an enormous imprint on that. And
he certainly gets a lot of credit for it. I don't know
he deserves
how much.
It.
I don't know.
I think it's undebatable, actually.
I don't know.
Like, look at and well, whatever. I don't want to make this like a pro Bill Simmons. Like, I don't want to like be Mr. Bill Simmons here, but I absolutely, I think it's sort of like undebatable that he has an enormous imprint in that.
It's undebatable that he certainly gets a lot of credit for having an enormous imprint over basketball online from like 2006 on.
And you don't think he deserves it?
No.
So who does?
I don't know. I'm not saying there's anybody that I'm not like sitting on a secret one, but I think he's always been like fine.
I think you can recognize his influence without saying that you like him.
Well, I think Granlund was cool. I think that he has hired cool people, for sure. That's a
I mean, his podcast was like the
skill. First
really big sports podcast.
I don't think I've ever listened to a full episode of a Bill Simmons podcast.
Doesn't matter. Like, have you ever?
Should we thank Alexander Graham Bell every time we use? I mean, it's like whatever.
Yeah, every time you use a phone. Yes,
you
probably.
thank him every time.
No,
you
not
thank
him. No. I'm not thanking him every time we podcast, but I acknowledge his contribution to the medium. it's just like it's obvious.
I don't know.
It's like I think it's like pretty much undebatable, actually.
I don't know. Doesn't do it for me. Never did.
I'm not saying he has to do it for you. I'm just saying that his influence is obvious. That's all. Okay, fine. Before we get to a guy whose influence reaches far beyond that of Bill Simmons, one Tommy Alter.
Yes, now we'll be ready.
Big Barker dog beds. Love my Big Barker. Well, not mine. Love my Big Barker for Rebel. Actually, I have 2 Big Barkers. Big Barker is the only dog bed that your dog should be sleeping on. Quite simply, the only dog bed your dog should be sleeping on is the only dog bed that is going to be a true positive to your dog's health. And it was engineered to be that way to support your dog's joints so your dog stays, healthier for longer, so your dog doesn't suffer from the pains of like joint stiffness and arthritis and all of those things that happen with every dog, like they happen with every human. It was not only engineered to be that way, it's been proven to be that way. At bigbarker.com/Ricky. You go to bigbarker.com/Ricky. You see all the benefits of the Big Barker dog bed. You look at it, looks fucking great. It's very classy, but also you get the Process Pup patches to put on the Big Barker dog beds. You got to get the 2 Process Pup patches, put one of them on the dog bed, take a picture of your dog on the bed, send us a photo, we'll put them in the Process Pup gallery. Penn Vet did a study on Big Barker dog beds and found all of these things to be true. Improvement in joint function, reduction in joint stiffness, improvement in gait. All these things happened. They're all real. And your job as a dog owner, your dog's alive 15 years if you're lucky, right? It's full of love, full of life, full of energy. Your job is to give that dog its best life possible. You can't do that without a Big Barker. 10-year warranty. The foam doesn't flatten or they replace it for free. 1-year at-home trial. If you don't like it, if your dog doesn't like it, they'll give you full refund and they'll even pay for the shipping. Handmade in the USA. Big Barker dog beds. Woo! I can't believe you made me go like pro sim. Like it was.
You're always
right.
right. You're always ready to do it. You're always ready to do it.
It's absolutely untrue.
I'm happy we got Zach. I'm happy we got Zach to bark in the Big Barker.
Yes.
Last week.
Yes.
That was nice.
Oh, we can't isolate it. CJ, do we get isolated vocal tracks in StreamYard? We do. I think you need to go grab Zach's bark. Okay.
Yeah.
I need
maybe
to put
that can be like the
sound
anthem.
part.
Anytime the Sixers have like a very like Bodie type of play.
Yeah. By the way, not
Barker.
a lot of. Oh wait, wrong one. Where is it? No. Not a lot of Traveling Queen.
Just waiting for that consolidation trade. Then it's gonna be all traveling all the time.
So this video popped up on the internet, and look, I'm not. You play in a basketball league. I haven't played competitive basketball in 15 years because of my back, but I am sure that I would not look like this if I shot a basketball. JJ Redick, or Old Man in the Three, his podcast, posted a video of JJ Redick shooting, and then Mike's, the guy that Mike credits with the internet, basketball right. Internet,
That's
Tommy
true.
Alter, posted him shooting a basketball. And I'm telling you, you have to go to YouTube or Spotify.
I just feel like his influence is undeniable. I just feel like you look at him, you look at where he's come from, how he knows everybody in the world, despite. Anyway, just play it. I'll do it.
All right. So they posted this. I'm just saying, if you're listening to the pod, go to the YouTube version or go to the Spotify version and watch the video. Here we go.
My form, just normal.
Ready?
Tommy's form. Are you serious?
Oh, no.
Goes in, right?
No.
Oh, no.
No.
No. So if you're not watching, Tommy shoots with both hands under the ball, like a little child shooting on a 10-foot rim, almost.
How have you not learned to like accidentally shoot? Fine. Hanging out with, having never hung out with anyone, like who with a net worth under 1.5 million. Like, how do you not just like basketball courts available to you all the time, and there's just
His best
never
friend
a
is
time.
JJ Redick. His best friend is JJ
does
Redick, one of the best
I
shooters
mean,
of
like
all
this
time.
happened later in life, but like how do you not at any point, like I wouldn't have gone into basketball media with this level of, like he's ashamed, like you can tell he's ashamed of it. Like he's probably joking about it now, but it probably like took a lot of it. Like the fact that he backs away after every shot, he's trying to like recede he's trying to Homer Simpson into the street. Just like getting out of there as quickly as possible. JJ had to like lean on him to do it. His balance, his everything about, like he looks like, I really hadn't thought about him like shooting. I knew I'd be better than him, but I hadn't thought about like what his jump shot would look like. And this is worse than I thought it would look. He like the little smile, the fact he's wearing those fucking glasses. Oh my God. This is becoming bullying, and I feel slightly bad about it. But like, just what do you do? What do you do? Where did you come from?
Is it possible?
Who allowed you to be here?
Is it possible that Ben taught him how to shoot?
Oh, the like lurching and lunging, hunched over. He looks, how tall is he? He's probably not as short as he looks. I mean, JJ's 6'3", 6'4"?
Yeah, something like that. I don't know.
He's probably not as short as he looks because he's hunching down in shame.
Is he wearing pajamas? Is he wearing like...
No, that's like a look.
Okay.
That's a look.
It looks like pajamas.
It's honestly, they did him a favor by showing really only like 3 clips of him doing anything. And like having to cut to like little gifs of Shaq and Garnett and whatever. It would have been worse if they just played like a full minute of him moving around on the basketball court. It would have been worse. This was bad. This is bad. This calls everything into question.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to be
for you.
I don't think it confirms a lot. I don't think it has to. Like I think you can be a basketball analyst and like write about basketball. I don't think you have to be an excellent basketball player in order to do that. But you got to be something, and that's nothing. That wasn't anything at all.
Oh no. What's this? Oh, he's
okay.
short.
So height wise,
this is for height reference. Brad.
Yeah.
Beal
So
is
he's
6'3".
What do you
He's
think,
5'8".
CJ? You think? No, I think he's a little taller. Maybe 5'9", 5'10". What do you think, CJ?
I would shoot for 5'10".
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
5'10",
So that's
I
how,
guess.
that's
Yeah.
I'm 5'10". So
It's look, Tommy. You
he
have
was wearing pajamas, no matter what you say.
Yeah, look, I don't have that outfit, but it is something that people wear. Tommy, you have snuck into this magical career where you don't bring anything to the table whatsoever. Despite having all of these opportunities to. And you have this secret shame that you have no idea how to stand or exist on a basketball court. Just count your money and let it lie. You don't have to. You got it. You did it. You have a podcast with JJ Redick. Nobody knows how. Nobody knows why.
Does he have a whatever?
I'm just saying he can stop. I'm just saying. Yeah. I think he needs to. Someone needs to give him permission to stop, and it's going to be me. He doesn't have to. Get this he doesn't have to.
All right. Quick email, and then we'll get out of here. Or quick, actually, why don't we go a voicemail? 833-LickFace is where you can send us a voicemail.
Second, Mike. I was curious how you guys would feel about the Sixers auctioning off game-worn underwear instead of jerseys or shoes. I feel like it could be a real hit, and I would personally love to own a pair and maybe even wear Maxey's briefs. Thanks.
Mike, how would you feel about that?
I mean, if the guys want to do it, then great. I feel like the Sixers probably shouldn't be the one making the decision. But if players would like to do that, then that's interesting. We were talking about this for Young Rock this season about someone, a fan
auctioning
of
underwear.
a fan of Dwayne's. No, not us auctioning, but for a storyline on the show, a fan of Dwayne's like having his like old wrestling trunks like framed in their house, and it's like those are underwear.
Yes.
You could say what the underwear are from, but at the end of the day,
those are underwear.
You're framing underwear.
And we'll do one email. Writes RickySanchez@gmail.com. By the way, whoever that voicemailer is, that guy's a regular voicemailer, and he always brings it. So writes RickySanchez@gmail.com. Writes RickySanchez@gmail.com. This comes from Jacob. Said it once, I'll say it again. I've seen enough. We're winning it all. 76ers in 76. It's our year. The vibes aren't just immaculate, they're impeccable. Embiid asked for a dog, Morey adopted a fucking pack. I heard Michael Vick got tased trying to break into the gym at 2 a.m. Then Maxey took advantage of the chaos to sneak back in after Doc threw him out for the third time that night. Harden lost 100 pounds and 6 inches off his shorts. First team ever to have 2 players both win MVP in the same year. The Jokic stands advanced stats post might block out the sun, but Paul Reed plays in the mud. Glenn finally let go of his angst by being true to himself on Twitter, and now every day is about to be a victory tour. Furkan might have lost his powers last season due to nerve damage, but having his head bounced against the lockers like a fucking yo-yo while getting jumped by the entire Georgian team has reset his brain. No chance he shoots less than 50% from 3. I could go on forever, but there's no way we blow this. Quote me on it. I don't give a fuck. If I'm wrong, waterboard me on the rocky steps and display my broken pride in the Mutter Museum. Felt like it was a good way to end.
It is,
the kind
man.
of energy you need.
The optimism is starting to creep in. The Eagles are 4-0. The Phils finally got the monkey off their back. It's getting to be dangerously optimistic in Philadelphia.
It's
and
coming.
Here we are on the precipice of another Sixers season. With what horrors await us in the months to come? We're setting sail, and everything seems to be fine. Now all the crewmates like each other, and we're looking around being like, this is a solid crew. This is fun. And someone's going to end up dead, and it might be me. We'll see.
We will. CJ corrected me. The next preseason game is Monday against. Hold on. Is it against Cleveland again? Did you write that? Yes. Monday against Cleveland again. So we will talk to you this weekend. Thanks for hanging out. Good to have basketball back. Tyrese Maxey is even better. Are you down with TTP?
I'm sorry to Tommy. I shouldn't. It's fun to be mean to Tommy. I get it.
Being mean is fun. We don't mean it.
It's fun to do. Hopefully it doesn't. Maybe he takes it personally, but
I'm sure he takes it a little personally.
He probably should.
Yeah.
But
it's very roast him for like 10
it's very
minutes
fun to
every
make
time
fun
we
of
bring
him.
up.
But I don't want him to feel that bad. Hopefully he thinks it's. I don't know. He doesn't listen. Who gives a shit? Yeah. You know, lick face.